time as you may consume.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of H.R. 3641, known as the Pinnacles National Park Act. As sponsor of the bipartisan legislation, I'd also like to express my thanks to our friend, my friend Congressman Denham from California for his original co-sponsorship of H.R. 3641. The Pinnacles National Park Act will elevate America's 11th national monument, the Pinnacles National Monument, to a national park. Only Congress can designate a national park. This is the right thing to do because there are not a lot of examples of tectonic plate movement in our national park system. This legislation would also rename the current Pinnacles Wilderness after Schuyler Hayne, who first came to the area in 1886 and was largely responsible for getting the attention of Theodore Roosevelt, who first designated the monument in 1908. The first designation was to protect the beautiful rock formations of the Talus Caves, notable for its tunnels. It has since been expanded several times by executive order and by congressional mandate to its present size of over 26,000 acres. It's larger than several existing national parks. Pinnacles is a culturally significant area for several Native American tribes. It served as the backdrop for John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men and East of Eden. Anyone who has visited this place knows it's special. From exploring caves to viewing springtime flowers, wildflowers, to hiking through spire-like rock formations, visitors and families can participate in activities that leave lasting memories. It is truly worthy of national park status. The pinnacles themselves are half of the skeletal remains of the Nenach volcano, which erupted 23 million years ago and are located at the junction of the Pacific and Northern American tectonic plates. The San Andreas Fault is just 4 miles to the east, and Miners Gulch and Pinnacles Faults run directly through the Pinnacles system. The Pinnacles system is home to 149 species of birds, 49 mammals, 22 reptiles, 6 amphibians, 68 butterflies, 36 dragonflies and damselflies, and nearly 400 different kinds of bees. I didn't even know there were that many, and many thousands of other invertebrates. One project I'm particularly proud about is the reintroduction of the endangered California condor, the largest flying land bird in North America. Since 2003, the National Park System has been part of the California Condor Recovery Program to reestablish California condors at the Pinnacles National Monument. This cooperative endeavor between the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Ventana Wildlife Society, Pinnacles Partnership, and others, in collaboration with the California Condor Recovery Team, have done on recovery efforts and public education. Many visitors come to this region to get an opportunity to see the condor in the wild. This legislation has broad support from our counties of San Benito and Monterey, as well as the Chambers of Commerce, Visitors Bureaus, and from the respective counties who are enthusiastically supportive of this legislation. There is no opposition to the bill. The Pinnacles is uniquely located in coastal California to attract thousands of visitors each year, which provide a viable and vital economic engine for San Benito County. Tourism is primarily focused for many of the business owners on the Central Coast. Increasing the number of tourists would promote the healthy impact for those not only in the retail sector, but also dining, lodging, and sightseeing opportunities. The new national park designation would strengthen the region's economic and tourism potential. There is no national park in that whole region. Research shows that for every $1 invested by the federal government into our national parks, they return $4 to the community in tourism dollars. Situated slightly inland from the California coast, Pinnacles National Monument has not yet realized its full potential to reach locals and tourists. Many tourists travel, dine, and stay overnight in areas along the coast such as Monterey and Santa Cruz, where they are visiting to recreate, camp, view wildlife, and enjoy the great outdoors. However, many are not aware of the Pinnacles National Monument, and as a result, do not make the short trip inland to see this treasure. By elevating its statute to a national park, I believe that more visitors will come through our restaurants and businesses, and more visitors will stay overnight near the park. I'd like to end with an inspiring quote from Ken Burns, who directed the national parks, America's Best Idea. In a letter of support, Mr. Burns wrote for this legislation, he stated, "A Pinnacles National Park would preserve the unique portion of our land, not only a critical record of geologic time, what John Muir would have called the grand geological library, that helps Americans look back millions of years to understand the vast tectonic forces that shaped and still shape our continent, but also a rare habitat for condors, a wide variety of flowers, and 400 species of bees. It would preserve a place that over centuries, Native Americans, early Spanish settlers, homesteaders from the East, and Basque sheep herders have considered home, offering an important series of perspectives on a larger sweep of American history. With that bit of wisdom, I'd urge my colleagues to support our bipartisan legislation. Again, I'd like to thank Jeff Denham, Congressman from the region, for supporting and co-sponsoring H.R. 3641, the Pinnacles National Park Act. I ask your support and yield back. Thank you.
Gentleman from Colorado. I'd like to